Oh, we have lawyers. That's good. That's good.
Mhm. I put them,
It's too hard for them to get all over the place. Go ahead, you were saying.
put a little note beside each card that has to be.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Taylor P. Yes. Reading. I'm letting everybody in. Good morning, everyone. This is Judge Person. I welcome everybody to court this morning, and we'll take our time with each person's case. There is mostly on my docket, I have a single person I need to talk to, but otherwise, most people are here for the pretrial docket, which is the not guilty contested docket. And I do want to, sorry, I'm just still letting folks in. I do want to I'll review some things in a moment. Mute until it's your turn, but everyone will have an opportunity to unmute and speak about their case. Okay. So again, I'm Judge Person. I had a few people come in kind of late. That's fine. We're working with you. And I do want to let you know a few things, mainly that if you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods for accusing someone. That's what a ticket is. It's an accusation. And when you give a plea, you're giving a I'm sorry, is that Mr. Higginbotham on the iPhone?
My name's Stephen Avila.
Okay. Are you driving?
I was the driver. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, are you right now driving?
Oh no, I'm parked.
Okay. And your attorney, have you been able to visit with your attorney yet?
Yeah, he should be on. He was the one that sent me this link.
Okay, he might be running late, although nobody's told us that he's running late, but I don't see him in the waiting room. So maybe he'll be along shortly. You're welcome to be here. It's just that the prosecutor can only talk about the case with the attorney. And so I don't know if your attorney had a chance yet to explain that to you, but we'll work on that shortly. But I just wanted to make sure you weren't driving because I don't want to witness an accident. When people, shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so we'll be with you shortly. Okay.
No, I'm actually at work.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. I believe you.
Yeah.
Just for a
Yeah.
minute there, you were kind of doing this and looking around, and that could be for a lot of reasons. I was just checking.
Oh yeah.
I was just checking. So I do want to let folks know that when you're given a ticket or issued a citation, those are all methods that we have under the law for accusing someone. That is what a ticket is. It's an accusation. When you give a plea, you're giving your answer or your response to that accusation. There are three options for pleading: guilty, not guilty, and no contest. Guilty means I did this. Not guilty means the state should prove the case against me. I'm contesting. And no contest means I'm allowing the judge to find me guilty, but I'm not admitting or denying the offense. If you plead guilty or no contest, I'm moving into sentencing. If you plead not guilty, I'm moving that case toward trial. In connection with that, I always ask for bond information, which is income information. If you are on the guilty or no contest docket, I ask for that too in order to look at the penalty. So Class C offenses, this is a Class C court. I think I said that at the beginning. Class C offenses result in the imposition of fines and costs. It does not result in jail time, although people can have warrants. And if you have a warrant, I'll work to resolve that warrant with you to the best of my ability. But what I will say is, with regard to punishment, normally you're not sentenced to jail time, and jail time is normally not associated with Class C offenses. In fact, there's a series of steps that we have to take in order to get a case to a warrant. And I do actually have one warrant today that I'll be working on, or a person with warrants. So anyway, the reason I ask for income information is kind of twofold. One is in sentencing, the other is in scheduling a bond, and it's the same information. So I just collect it one time. Therefore, you were asked for that information, but that doesn't mean that I'm presuming anybody is guilty. I look at it at different stages if it becomes necessary or when it becomes necessary. So sometimes people have that question. I just like to answer it up front because I get that question quite a bit. So then the other thing I want to talk about is if you're found guilty. So normally I said, if you plead guilty or no contest, I accept the plea. Generally speaking, you're found guilty, it goes on your record and you pay the fines and costs. There's exceptions to every part of the thing I just said to you. So the first one is in terms of payment of fines and costs. I do look at income and capacity to pay when I approve things like payment plans and when I approve things like community service. So if I'm sentencing with you today, or if we're in a sentence and we're working on that sentence, I'm looking to see the reasonable, I'm looking for a balance there. If you're pleading not guilty, I may not even be looking at income information today. You'll have a pretrial. The case might even get resolved. If it doesn't, we'll move that case on the not guilty docket. It will move into the courtroom because we're now moving that case toward a trial process. If I'm working on you in terms of pleading guilty or no contest, that statement about having it go on your record, I want to talk about the 4 ways available in Class C court to keep it off of your record. I'll tell you what they are, and then I'll hit on them briefly, and then we'll move forward. They are compliance dismissals, driver safety course options, deferred dispositions, and teen court. Compliance dismissals are things that can be brought up to date and dismissed. That's, equipment violations, things like that. It's not moving violations or insurance because those are offenses that can't be retroactively changed. Okay. But blinkers that are out, tires that are bad, light bulbs that aren't working, those are the kinds of things we're talking about there. What you can expect from me is that I will look to see if you have such a thing, such a case on a plea of guilty or no contest in connection with sentencing to see if you might have available to you a dismissal option based on bringing the thing up to date and gaining a dismissal. I don't see any of those on the docket today, but I do look. Okay. And you are welcome to ask about it when it's your turn because it's your case. And 99% of us do represent ourselves in Class C courts. I understand, we've got at least a couple of people actually today who are represented, and that's also fine. In fact, before you move forward with your case, if you are wanting to meet with an attorney in the Class C courts, we don't court appoint counsel, but you do have the option to put your case on hold, come back a different day with or without an attorney, but definitely to get time to meet with one. If you want to take that step and you have not yet taken that step or waived that step, then you just say, Judge, I need time. You may or may not be sure whether you've waived it. You may or may not be sure whether you've already done it. But I'll work with you the best I can where your case is at this point. Okay. So you just go, I need time. And then I know what that means. And I'll start talking to you about that. All right. Is everybody following me so far? I see some nods. Okay, great. If not, put a note on your paper and talk to me about it when it's your turn. Now, I said there were 4 dismissal options, and the compliance one is one I'm looking for. The second one is on moving violations. You can do a driving safety course option to gain a dismissal. There will be some money that gets paid. There will be things for you to do. It must be done on time. And so what you can expect is that I will look to see if you have something, if you have the option to do that. There are pre-qualifications, then you have to successfully get into the program, then you have to successfully complete it. It will save you money because every ticket here has a court cost and a fine. And in the driving safety course option, you just pay the court cost. The fine goes on hold. You turn in your record and your course, the right record, the right course. I dismiss the charge, I waive the balance. It's cheaper to do that and get it off your record than to pay the whole ticket. It's by design because we drive better after we do that course. If you are a CDL holder, the Texas law expressly keeps you out of this program. I cannot change that. No one, the legislature didn't call me and ask me on that one what I thought. They just did what they did. So that's that one. That was a long time ago that change happened. And there's not really a way around the driving safety course option if you have a CDL license. If you are, so those are the first two. On both of them, I will be looking and saying, hey, do you want to do this? Hey, do you want to do this? And I just not generally going to do chat questions. I'll do questions when it's your turn. But generally, I did get a chat question that I do think is relevant. So I'll go ahead and answer it. If I don't have a Texas license, can I do the driving safety course option? No. And that's what I mean about looking to see if you qualify to be in the program. I'll be doing that. So, but more beyond that, I will answer when it's your turn. Okay. It's not a problem to ask those. I just don't want to stop for every question because those questions will be geared more toward your case. So we'll do that when it's your turn. These are my general remarks. Okay. They aren't me ending the conversation so that you can't ask. Okay. So the first two, I'm looking for qualifications. When we get to the third one, which is called a deferred disposition, deferred is a word that means delay. Disposition means to dispose of or make final. I delay making your case final. I put an order in place that will list the things that you must do to gain a dismissal. They must be done as listed, including deadlines. If you get them done, I sign the bottom, you sign the bottom. Sometimes the prosecutor signs the bottom. And we use that order to determine how to get you to a dismissal. And if you do the things listed, you get one. The way that you get a deferred, I don't look for the deferred for you because that would be me advocating for you. That law says that you can request it though. Guilty or no contest, I would like a deferred. That's how you ask. The judge in a Class C court can say yes or no. If the judge says yes, the judge can impose whatever that judge thinks is appropriate in that deferred. If the judge says no, that ends the discussion. Judges have discretion on that. I'm very open to it. I will listen each and every time and just make your request. Guilty or no contest, I'd like a deferred. That's what that looks like. The fourth and final one is if you are a high school, middle school, or homeschool student, you can qualify for teen court. And that one will be, looks like a deferred, but I'll be looking to push it at you because it's a good program. And I'm less likely to see you in the future in court or in the news if we do teen court. So I heavily favor it. All of these things are things that we cannot force you to do. But in the case of deferred, you can request. In the other three cases, I look at it and see. And you are welcome to ask questions when it's your turn. Okay. So that's what I call the 101. And also, I probably want to just point out today we're meeting virtually, but if we need signatures on anything that, you know, we're advancing things forward. And as a judge, that's what I do. I move things along and we'll advance things forward. However, I might need signatures. That might mean that you still need to come by and sign something, or that we need to email it to you and have you print it, sign it, and email it back to us. So be thinking about how to do that. Okay, Mr. Matson, I am going to just begin first. I know there's an attorney waiting, and I'm going to let that attorney in a second. But, you know, I do think fair is fair. Lori Ring, can you unmute? And are you able to get on screen? Lori Ring, are you here? Okay, I'll keep working with you, but I need to move forward. Hannah Proctor, can you unmute? Great. Oh, I'm sorry. I accidentally muted when you hit it.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to move you over to the breakout room with the prosecutor.
Judge, before you do that, I actually just wanted to address this case right up front.
Okay.
The complainant in the cases actually called me yesterday and requested to have both charges dropped. She told me that Ms. Proctor and herself have already worked through the issue and there's no need for it to go any further. So I don't have an issue with that.
Okay, you're sending over a dismissal.
I will be sending over dismissals this morning. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ms. Proctor, that means that I will sign those dismissals and I will email them to the email that you have on file. That's the email that we used to set the meeting up today. Can we use that email to send you copies?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we'll email that to you as soon as I sign it, okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're good to go. Thank you.
Yep.
Lori Ring, let me try you again. Are you there? Okay, and then Mr. Matson, your next person is, we're waiting on Mr. Mason. There's an attorney coming in. I don't recognize the attorney name. It could be Mr. Mason. With
Mr.
a-
Garvey,
Yes,
he's with the McMahon Law Firm. This is for Paige Lopez, I believe.
okay. Hello. Mr. Garvey, can you unmute?
Sorry about that, Judge.
Yeah, I understand. You're probably running from court to court. It's not a
I
problem.
am, and I apologize for being a little bit late. I couldn't find any good reception, and I finally found some out in the middle of a cow pasture out by Welder, Texas. So,
Okay. You're not driving though, right?
no, ma'am, I'm pulled over. Yes.
Okay, very good. I'm going to move you forward because actually it's your turn. And this is on the Paige Lopez case. And Mr. Matson is waiting for you and I will move y'all over.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. I'm going to work with Miss Price in just a moment. I'm so sorry, Mr. Avila. One thing I can tell you, since we're waiting on your attorney, is it's so hot in here. Is there any way we can bump that down? You can, while you're sitting waiting, and it's okay if you need to hang up and do this and then just dial right back in. If you want to hang up or put me on hold or whatever and dial and call your attorney to see where he or she might be, you're allowed to update me. So if you want to do that, oh my goodness, thank you. That's fine because we're going to wrap up pretty soon. We're almost done. So you might want to check on that attorney and see what's going on, okay? A lot like Mr. Garvey, a lot of times they're announcing in different courts. Usually they call us and tell us. And I'll check our system too to see if we've gotten anything in. But you might want to just double check on that, okay?
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's supposed to be Mason in law, which Mr.
Yeah, no,
Mason.
I know Mr. Mason. But
So I
he's
tried to text him, but he didn't respond.
yeah.
So I'll try to give him
can't-
a call.
Yeah, you might do that. You might
And
want to,
and then I'll jump back on here.
but be quick
Okay.
because we're wrapping up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so Ms. Price, hi.
Hi.
So let me just kind of tell you where we are. These are older cases from 2021. They have balances and there's an insurance charge with a balance of $514.80. There is a failed to control speed charge with a balance of $492.70. There's an expired license charge with a balance of $384.80. We had community service in 2022. We didn't have a timesheet before the warrant was issued. In 2023, the bailiff called you and spoke to you, and you did contact the court. At that point, you asked for a payment plan. However, when I looked at your income information, I didn't see a way for you to make payments. So I went, hold on.
Sorry.
I'm just telling you where we are, and I'm going to do that first. And at that point, I went ahead and said, hey, we give her community service because there's no way to make payment. That was due October 31st. And then you emailed asking to speak to me. So now tell me what I need to know.
I I've been on maternity leave,
Okay,
so that's why there's not showing income. And I can't do community service. I have nobody to watch the baby.
did you do any of your hours back in 2021?
No, I don't even remember having community service. I thought it was a payment plan.
Okay, and so when are you due?
I already had her.
Okay, so now when are you able to work again?
I start back next month.
And where will you be working?
The same place. Just it's work
I
from
don't know where
home.
that is. Why don't you tell me?
Concentrics.
And what do you do there?
Like customer service.
What's your request of the court? Do you want a payment plan?
Yes, if possible.
You requested a payment plan of $40 a month. Can you make a payment today?
I could Friday.
Okay, that will work.
Okay.
And we'll just make that be a monthly thing.
Okay.
So we'll begin on 11/10. And can you come by the court today to sign for that?
Yes.
Okay. When you get here and sign, I will recall your warrants, but they would reissue if you don't begin and make payment and stay on that plan. Therefore, if you run into any issues doing that, you need to come in and talk to us before you default so that we can work with you more easily, okay?
Okay.
Okay. When will you be by the court to make signature?
I will be before 3. I have to pick the oldest up from school by 3.
Okay.
So
So we'll look for you around 3:30?
yes, that doesn't work. Yeah.
Okay. Miss Taylor, then we will, Price, excuse me, then we will see you then. Do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Okay. Let's take Mr. Garby and Mr. Matson on the Lopez case.
Mr.
Your Honor,
Honor,
Mr. Garby has an offer he's gonna bring back to his client.
Okay.
And we discussed having a reset date a little further out because of holidays coming up and wanting to make sure that the client can meet the terms. So if we could get a 60-day reset, if that's possible, that would be
60
ideal.
60 days to decide whether someone wants to do a deferral. Why
She
do
has
we-
to get
Judge,
some
what are-
paperwork together.
Sorry, say that again.
Go ahead, Mr. Garby.
Yeah, Judge, our client, so there's a question on this particular case. I discussed it with Mr. Matson that whether she had insurance, she thought she did. What she presented to us is not actually an insurance binder. And so we're working with her to either make sure she has insurance going forward or doesn't. I firmly believe that we'll have this case resolved before the next setting. The offer we have from the state, I think, is exactly what we're looking at trying to get. I just if in your honor, if you want to just reset as 30 days, that's fine too. We just know with the holidays coming up, I think things are going to get busy.
Right. I guess we're also indirectly talking about the fact that you could have a busy schedule too. So let's look at January 9th as
January
the
9th, that would be great, Judge.
Does the state okay with that date?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's actually what y'all asked for. Now that I've heard you out, I think it makes sense. Okay, we'll send that over to your email, Mr. Garby. Is that acceptable? The one we were using?
That is, Judge. Thank you. And may I be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you for your respect.
All right. Thank you, Judge. You have a great day.
You too. Okay, Mr. Matson, Lori Ring was having some technical difficulties. I think they're resolved. Ma'am, can I hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Oh, whew.
Let me move you over to that pre-trial meeting with the prosecutor, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Avila, I'm not ignoring you. I just, as you know, I can only talk to really your attorney. Were you able to reach someone?
No, I wasn't, ma'am. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
He didn't ask. I hate for this to happen, and the communication is not there with my lawyer. I'm
I
not
don't
from
like
here.
to
I'm from
see
Las
it.
Vegas,
Okay.
but I don't know what we could do.
Can you hang on 1 minute? There's one thing we haven't done, and I need to do it over here. Now we have kind of a moment. Let me make sure we didn't receive anything from that lawyer. That doesn't help you with the communication, but if I can, if there's something I can respond to from there, I'll share what's happening with you in a moment. But let me see if we've heard. Okay. I don't like to see it either, and I don't like to see it happen to people, but at the same time, don't panic. Okay. I have a plan. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Can we look and see it? And we might call upstairs too and just check. Oh, is that from him? Block baby Mac seems like something that we should run through the virus finder first. Right? I think I would report that one before I opened it and have it looked at, scanned. October 10th. Today? Yeah, let's check and see. We did email the attorney on October 10th as to the setting.
Mr. Beal said that Mr. Mason is in that. And you talked to him. Okay. Yeah, did he get, he said it was set for discovery and for trial. Did Avila. Uh-huh. Stephen. Okay. Okay. All right. Basically, like I said, Mr. Avila is in Florida. I mean, in the
Online.
call.
He's in the meeting.
He's tried to get a hold of Mr. Mason, who's not answering. Okay, I'll go check with the clerk.
There's nothing on the notes. Right. Hi, Attorney Mason. This is Judge Person. I'm calling from the Temple Municipal Court regarding your client, Stephen Avila. We did send you the setting date. Check your email from October 10th. And it was set today at 9 o'clock for Zoom, just courtesy Zoom, so that we could check in. And your client is in the meeting. It was set for the meeting today, a pretrial conversation and discovery. If you could contact the court and tell us what's happened, it would be helpful. Thank you. This is a courtesy call. Appreciated. Okay.
Said you didn't get a Zoom link, but if you look at the one on the screen,
Mhm.
it's there.
Well, why would he call and say I didn't get a Zoom link? How did he know about it?
Or is it she put them on hold to check and, I don't know,
Can you
well,
print that for me, please? Okay.
Judge, can I say something?
Yes.
They did text me, the Zoom meeting and time, yesterday. They had texted me it. So that's what I'm really confused about. How come he didn't join it today? But in my text message, it had said I didn't have to join the meeting.
Yes.
So I just want to ask, what would have happened if I wouldn't have joined this meeting today and my lawyer didn't appear? Only because I've told one thing and then and say I didn't join this, well, there could have been some consequences.
In a way, okay. Because I'm a little too familiar with this scenario, the next step I would have taken would be to schedule it for an in-person meeting here in the court. And at that point, it's a question of you deciding whether you're, are you keeping that attorney? Are you not keeping that attorney? Are you going to represent yourself? There's just, you're remote. So then I would probably work with whatever's happening with that. So it kind of depends on people's responses. Okay. But no, I mean, in the past, it just would have gone to warrant. At this point, I still try to work with the parties and the persons involved to get things back on track. We have proof that it was received, but then a call that was timely that said I didn't get the notice, even though the notice was received. I mean, we have that. So it's a contradiction. The person who called and said they didn't get notice, we assume it was the attorney, but we don't know who called, was asked to please hold so we could get them more information, and they hung up. So it's just kind of going in circles right now. What I'm going to do is just reschedule it one time as a courtesy because you're here. And I will reset it actually let me ask you, because see, I always would say that if it were my case, I would probably still attend. It is true, technically, you don't have to be here if your attorney is here. But, as you see, you need to check and make sure things are doing what they're supposed to be doing. I can reschedule. Can I utilize November 28th?
Where's it?
Yes. So I'm sorry. Yes, November 28th.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to go ahead and reschedule for November 28th. And that'll give you an opportunity to work on connecting with that person and deciding what you want to do. Okay. But short of calling them and you calling them, I don't have a way to move forward. Once an attorney files a representation letter, I am not allowed to I can schedule. I can't discuss cases. The prosecutor can't discuss the case with you directly alone, as long as you're represented. I can't give you legal advice. The only other thing I'm allowed to say is if you choose to not be represented by a particular lawyer, you can hire one that can file a replacement notice, or you can request to remove your lawyer. But you have to do something in writing. And I would look to hear any of that by the next pretrial. I'm not suggesting that you need to do that, but I am hearing that question in your questions. I'm allowed to tell you what ifs, but I'm not allowed to tell you what you should or shouldn't do. Okay. And so I know the lawyer. It's not like he's never been here before. So beyond that, I'm just gonna reschedule for 9 a.m. in about a month, like 3 weeks. It's at 9. And I'll send that link to them. And that way you're free to go without worrying about the consequences. Okay. And had you not been here, even though I'm allowed to sign a warrant, I don't do business that way. I would try to give you another. What would happen is I would reschedule and you would get a notice. Your lawyer would get a notice and you would be CC'd on that notice to the address, we have on file. So keep it up to date. Okay.
Thank you. I've never had this situation happen to me before. So it's kind of new,
I wish I could say it never happens in court, but it happens.
but I appreciate everything, and I will see you guys November 28th.
I have 3 attorneys scheduled for today. I had 1 show up.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't want to get off into the weeds on how I try to enforce the law against attorneys, but it's complicated. I know how to do it. It's not fun, and it makes me wildly unpopular, which is fine. I don't care.
But especially for me as a client, I mean, I've already paid for it.
Yeah.
And see this, it kind of gives a bad review in your mind, on how to pick them, because there's no directions on how to pick these guys. So
Yeah. Well, and again, I don't want to get off on one particular lawyer. What I will say is, as a member of the judiciary, the problem is that, like, when the lawyer doesn't show up, it makes us all look bad and people lose faith in our system. And I'm telling you from here, you shouldn't lose faith in our system. It's a pretty good one. It isn't perfect. And when you fall through the cracks on it, it doesn't feel particularly good. And I do understand that. So I will continue to work with you. Okay. And if we have your email, do we have your email? Do we have his email? Let me make sure we have your email so that we can CC you on the email. Well, we won't CC it. We'll send it directly, because I don't want to get into a reply situation with that lawyer and you and the state, because it could inadvertently, you could wind up communicating something to the state that you weren't trying to communicate. So, but I can send you the link directly. You're certainly allowed to have the information of your case. It's just that you can't negotiate. What is your email?
Should I send it in the chat, my email?
Sure.
Okay.
While we're waiting on that, Mr. Mattson, I know you were talking with Lori Ring. Can you tell me where we are?
Yes, Judge. We have reached an agreement on deferral terms.
Okay.
It's going to just be the 120-day period, and Ms. Ring indicated she can make payment within 30 days in full.
Okay, so this is a speeding charge, and the deferral would last from today until March 6th of 2024. The payment is due December 7th in full. I don't believe other than don't get more tickets, don't get arrested, keep your address current. I don't believe the state has requested any further terms or conditions. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Okay.
That is true, Your Honor.
If I email it to you, Ms. Ring, can you print it, sign it, and email it back to us?
Absolutely.
Okay, and the email that we used for the meeting today, is that the right email?
I have 2. The Dakota 2214 or the Lori.ring@va.
Hold on. Let me pull it up. Okay. It's not. Okay, go ahead. Dakota 2214 at Yahoo.
We could do that one.
Yeah. Okay, we will use that one. Okay, then we'll send that to you. And do you have any further questions?
Yeah, I talked to the city attorney and I was just gonna pay the fine right now, but I went to your website and it's not allowing me. It says I don't exist.
Oh.
It's because
Hmm.
this is not in yet.
No, it's in. You don't want to pay it right now because your deferred isn't set up, but RING.
Yep.
And
So just wait for a day before I pay it.
I would say you could wait till the end of the day, but I would call if you're having trouble, you can call the court 254.
Hold on.
They can
254.
298 298
Okay.
5687.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, I will call them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. And so, Mr. Avila, I have stevedabe1 @gmail.com. Okay. I'm going to hand that to the clerk and they'll send you the meeting link as well. That way you won't wonder, just in case things break down further. They may not. It may just be a hiccup of something that happened.
I hope so.
Well, the thing that often happens is that attorneys are not used to being in more than one place at one time. Having been a defense attorney, I can tell you, I remember, and it's been a long time, and I remember because it's a lot. So it's likely something like that. And I would just encourage you to connect with that attorney and see if y'all might just get a working plan and come back with that, and we'll go from there. So we'll reschedule one time as a courtesy. Okay.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Mr. Matson, have you heard from Attorney Allen?
I have not, Your Honor. I don't even know if I've interacted with Attorney Allen before. First name was Paula, and I'm not familiar with that name.
And it's a Waco. I did call Mr. Mason, so I'm going to do the same courtesy on this one. And well, it's crazy. People just, oh, there is a phone number. Okay. A lot of attorneys now, they don't even put a phone number.
You have reached the law office of Paula Allen.
Hi, Attorney Allen. This is Judge Person in the Temple Municipal Court calling regarding your client, John Clinton Lawrence. You were scheduled for a Zoom meeting today at 9 o'clock. We're wrapping that meeting up now. It's actually coming to a close, but you did not appear. You need to file something or respond to the court so that we know what's happened. And I will respond to anything that you do send in. But at this time, it's a no-show, and I think you would probably going to need to address it. I'm not actually going to text your assistant as your message says, but this is just a courtesy call to remind you and let you know that you've missed court. Thank you. So on Higginbotham, Christopher, is there anything that you have to share with the court?
On Christopher Higginbotham?
Yes, sir.
Not at this time, Judge. I feel like he was scheduled previously and was reset to this date.
That's right.
Is that right?
Yes.
I have not heard from him since the last court setting.
The wireless customer you are calling is not available. Please try again later. El cliente de servicio móvil al que llama no se encuentra disponible. Favor de intentar.
Okay. Well, the home and cell number are the same there. So his income is like less than $500 a month. And his expenses almost exceeded, of course. So I'm not sure, he may or may not be housed at this time.
Okay.
What I have found is that once people become unhoused, their ability to keep up with their case becomes very limited.
Understood.
If we hear from, we're just going to proceed. And if we hear from him, well, we'll respond. So, okay. I just was checking in case you had anything juicy like we did on, Hannah Proctor that would take care of it, do you have anything else that you need for the court to take into consideration?
Not at this time, Judge. I'm just getting ready for Thursday to have our hearings.
Very good. So